Hello guys, good morning and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I love pottery, and these are some of the vases that I make. All my vases that you see at the front part of my porch are the vases that I make them from scratch, just from old rags with cement, and then you get some good vases at the end. So here in the village, most of the time when the maize starts flowering, you'll realize most of us are becoming sick, either a lot of cold or just you feeling under the weather. And we always believe it's because of the pollen, the maize, the flowers of the maize. When they remove that pollen, it makes people sick. So majority of the video today, I'll not be speaking as much because I'm feeling under the weather. Eggshells are very good for the soil. They help in enriching the soil. So always do not dump them. Always drop them in your farm. So before I go and plant the vegetables, I just came here just randomly and noticed that our broccoli have started forming. And funny enough, even the ones that the birds have eaten up the leaves, they're also forming. So I think 60% of the broccoli that I planted all have some broccoli, even the ones that have been attacked by pests. Funny enough, here in my farm, broccoli are attacked by pests more than even the kales. I don't know why. And also, this is my first time seeing the eggplant flowers. So I think I'm going to be harvesting some good eggplant. I don't know why I've never planted eggplant for all these years, because it seems it's doing really well here in our farm. So let me also answer this. One of you asked, how do I prevent snails from attacking my vegetables? And the answer might be, here in our area, it is very warm. So I think snails do not love warm weather. They love a cold weather, a little bit cool and cold weather. And that's why it's very rare to see snails in my farm. Maybe if you get, it's either one or two snails. So these are the black nightshade that we planted the other time. I dropped the seeds and they have germinated. So it's time for them to transfer them to a bigger space. So one of you asked me, how do I plant seeds directly, either from the market or from just your farm when you've harvested? So different seeds have different ways of planting them. Like the black nightshade, you can decide to dry them, then plant them later, or you can decide to just crush them and plant them directly to the soil. And that is how I planted the ones that are here. If you've been watching my videos recently, these are the ones that we planted the other time, and right now they are fully grown. So what I always do, I grow my vegetables, let them fully mature, produce seeds, and then use the same seeds to plant in my farm. That is the simplest and the easiest way to grow your own crops without keep on buying seeds or planting seeds. So this applies to so many crops that you get from the market, from tomatoes, bell peppers, what else? Even the gooseberries that I planted that I'm harvesting every single time. are from the same way. I got the gooseberries from the market and then just crushed the seeds immediately, put them in the soil, and then they grew after some time. That is the same way. So you can either decide to dry or to plant directly. The disadvantage of drying is if that crop had not fully matured, most of the time the rate of germination is not always 100%, or you can even realize that none will grow from that. Our red onions are doing really well. All they need is some more manure, and then soon we are going to start harvesting red onions from our farm. It's always very important to do crop rotation. So this is the same spot that had some spinach. So I prepared the area like 3 days ago. So it's now time to plant the black nightshade. Black nightshade is a herb. Most of the time these indigenous vegetables are herbs. So they have so many health benefits than any other vegetables that you can plant. That's why you always see me planting the indigenous vegetables, because of their health benefits. So I'm going to plant the vegetables in a row. So the distance between one vegetable to another will be like 6 inches, but now the spacing between one row to the next row will be like 1 foot, and that is the best spacing you can do to your vegetables. They'll be able to grow and expand. Also, you'll be able to give them room to expand and also grow. And also, you've realized I've done intercropping I've planted some onions, spring onions here, just to try and prevent pests from eating up my vegetables. So here in the village or in our region, we rarely have weather season for planting vegetables. Most of the time, we have seasons for maize, beans, groundnuts, and either cassava. Cassava you can plant at any time of the season, but for vegetables, we always plant them at any time of the season because our weather is very favorable. We always, our hot weather, it's always very short between December and January, only 2 months of hot weather. But the other times It rains for either a week, 2 weeks, and then it breaks for a week for some either weeding or any other, or people to plant or people to harvest, and then the rains come back again. Like right now, we are receiving in between rain and sun. So this is the perfect weather also to plant your vegetables. And because anytime you transplant a young seedling, it's always very important to give them some water just to um, help them adjust or adapt really fast to the ground. So when you water immediately, it helps them in adapting to the ground, and also the rate of germination will be perfect and 100%. And if you're planting them in the evening after it has rained, it's important not to water them because the ground will be wet, so the rate of germination will be as perfect as it can be. So we only water if you're planting your vegetables when it is sunny or during the day. So let me also harvest some collard greens. We are going to use that for our supper today. And because we have different types of vegetables here in our farm, we always alternate between collards and also the indigenous vegetables that we have in the farm. So here we have from the jute leaves, slender leaf, and amaranth is always wild here. I rarely plant amaranth. So our cabbages, we are yet to harvest them, but for collard greens, these are the suckers collard greens, and they do really well here because I prefer suckers if you're in a smaller garden, but if you're doing it for commercial, the best one to plant is now the ones that you plant from the seeds. Those are the best because they'll have a shorter lifespan, so you can decide to alternate between two different types of vegetables. But for suckers, like these ones have stayed here in the farm for the last like 4 years. The only thing I do is uproot and then replant the younger ones so that the older ones can be able to produce more suckers. And I decided to intercrop the collards with eggplant. Some are being eaten by something. I do not know the type of pests that are eating my the ones that are eating my eggplant here, because the eggplant that are at the front part of the garden, they are really doing fine without being eaten by pests. Let me also check and harvest some carrots, and then I think that will be it from here, because also our tomatoes are doing well. So soon I'm hopeful that we'll start harvesting tomatoes from our farm, because right now tomatoes are very, very expensive. We are buying one tomato at 20 shillings. That is very expensive here in the village. So because I'm rushing somewhere, let me end my video here. So thank you so much if you've watched this video till the end. Thank you so much. I will see you in my next video. For now, it's bye bye.